Okay, this is how you're going to understand how altars operate. The purpose of the altar, because of that text we just read, while God would have given us authority, there's something else that he has done, but he didn't mention here. And that is because he didn't give no invisible being, no spiritual being authority and making us human beings the landlords of this earth, then that means any spirit, any spiritual power, whether it's from the kingdom of light or whether it's from the kingdom of darkness, must consult with mankind. And consult simply means that there has to be forged an agreement between man and the spirit in order for that spirit to facilitate its will in the earth. Now, you have spirits of anger, spirits of adultery, jealousy, spirits of peace, faithfulness. Of course, I've read these things out in scripture to you before. But none of these spirits have the right to just jump on a human being and begin to facilitate its will without the authority of that human being. So this is where altars come into place. What altars does from the beginning, before Jesus Christ, I'm talking about the Israelites and the lineage coming to Jesus, God gave them specific instructions, all right, to set up these altars. And the purpose of the altar is to follow a specific ritual. And what this ritual will do will be the ritual will be depending on the spirit or the type of spirit you want to summons. So, like for example, you see in some cults, whenever they're trying to cast a spell or whatever, or do a love potion or whatever, the rituals aren't the same. They're all different. The purpose of that is because there is a specific spirit that they're summoning. All right. So let me just give you it from a godly side. So let's go here quickly to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, and we're gonna read from verse, where are we now? Exodus chapter 20, and we're going to read from verse 21. Okay, listen to this carefully. Remember, I told you God gave mankind dominion. He didn't give himself dominion. People get offended when I say that, and they tell me this blasphemy. No, you can't read. That's what your problem is. He didn't give himself opinion. Sorry, he didn't give himself dominion. So hence, God, the creator, is now saying, okay, now if you want me, mankind, to come and work on your behalf or work for you, or you want me to do whatever, then you have to set up an altar and you have to invite me. So let me prove it to you. So in Exodus chapter 20, verse 21 says, and the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. Verse 22 of Exodus 20. And the Lord said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Verse 23 of Exodus 20. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. So God is telling Moses, which he will have to convey to the people, the children of Israel. You can't say you serving me here when you set up these altars, but yet you got these gods of silver and gods of gold and Buddha and all this other stuff. So he goes on in verse 24 now, because he's about to give specific instruction. Now remember, we keep using the word God, and for some reason we somewhat fail to realize that God is a spirit. And this is going to play an important part where we're going. So in verse 24 of Exodus 20 says, God is talking now, an altar of earth thou shalt make unto me. An altar of earth. What is he saying? The altar you're about to make for me, you must create it from the earth itself, stones or whatever it is. But listen, he goes on further. These are specific instructions. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thy oxen in all places where I record my name. So he's saying now, when you set up this altar to the place I have specifically put my name for you to do it there, you must bring the best of what you have, the burnt offering, all these other stuff, because this now is going to be a sacrifice unto me. All of this to invite God to participate in their affairs. So this is his setup. This isn't man's setup. God is saying, now this, because I've given you dominion, I've given you authority here. You're the landlords here. So you do as you please. So, but if you want me to come, the creator, to now work stuff out for you, so you need to follow rules, laws, principles, follow my precepts, follow my commandments to the letter. An altar of earth shalt thou make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offering and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. So he's telling them, I am guaranteeing you. Okay? So let me just fast forward to modern day altars. There is no such thing as a modern day altar in regards to what they did back then. When Jesus Christ died on that cross and was hung, Jesus Christ became the ultimate sacrifice, and as a result of that, there are no more altars. So as far as that that ceremonial law for altars are concerned, that's done away with. We don't do that anymore. Because of what Jesus did, now we can go boldly as believers before the throne of God. We couldn't do that before, outside of Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. He said, now you can come boldly before the throne of God and make your petitions known, and so on and so forth, right? But back then, we had to, excuse me, we had to set up these altars specifically, specifically the way that God wanted us to be done. But this is the part I want you to get. God said, when you set up this altar, according to the specific instructions that I've given you, I really want you to hear this. He says, I, God, who is invisible, who you cannot see, I will come to this altar, because what you just did in this specific ritual sacrifice, whatever you did at this altar, this was the keys to summons me. So he says, now when I come, because these are all principles, when I, God, show up to this altar, even though you can't see me, I am coming with blessings, and everyone to this altar, everyone at this altar, and whatever family they represent, God says, I'm going to bless them.
If you live in the UK and you've been injured within the last 2 years, then you need to check out this quiz from the compensation experts. This quiz tells you if you qualify for a free work accident claim assessment within seconds. This includes work accidents.
This is a spiritual principle. So a principle simply means, principles don't change. Well, it simply means that because it's a principle, it can work for good, on the side of good, or the side of evil. And I say this to you all the time in my teaching. So coming back to demonic altars, and God kind of referenced it a little bit early in the scripture, he says, do not have beside me gods of silver and gods of gold. So that means they were raising evil altars, right? Why? Because when we follow the specific instructions given to us, all right, people don't realize this. Let me give you a perfect example. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. A perfect example would be you go to some juju, sangoma, whatever, and think about it. Just let it play in your mind for a second. Whatever you're going there for, there's, no matter what it is, there's certain things that they're going to require you to do. For example, they'll say somebody put a hex or a spell on you, and that is why your limbs are swelling. So here is what to do. Do not take a bath for the next 7 days. All right? And every morning when you get up, you urine in some kind of canister, and you walk around your yard and you pour it. I'm just saying this. What they're getting you to do, which you don't know, because you're believing, all your focus on is that I'm here for a healing, and this sangoma, this juju person, this voodoo priest is going to remove this evil spirit. And they're happy that you're thinking that way, because while you're being distracted with that, they're going to pretend as if they're giving you a remedy. But the remedy is a ritual that's going to summon a specific spirit to your place or upon you. However, because you participated in it, the curse isn't just coming on you. The curse is coming on all that is connected to you, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Now, Kevin, why are you taking this on the road? Because you mentioned something about revelation that God gave you during your time of vacation and your little sabbatical. Bring this baby home for us. There are many countries right now. The Bahamas is included in those countries where you're having a proliferation of murders, particularly on women. There are many countries, particularly the US of A, where this gender thing going on, same sex, refer to females as he, and all of these pronouns. Let me break this baby down for you. The best way, the most accurate way to determine if there are altars operating against an individual, a family, a community, a church, a government, what will be the litmus test, Kevin? Wherever you see a consistency of negativity, there's an altar speaking. There's an altar speaking. All right? Wherever you see a consistency of not just negativity, but the core of it is confusion. Oh, an altar is speaking. Why? See, because behind the altars, that's why I gave you those scriptures. God says, listen, even though you don't see me, I'm going to appear at this altar. So when the evil altars are raised, there are evil spirits at that altar. When they're making their sacrifices and doing and saying all that mumbo jumbo, there are evil spirits that's being dispatched to the families or whoever is represented at this altar, including the practitioner. So the sacrifices, listen, the sacrifices and all of these things are being made. They're literally putting X's in the spiritual realm on their siblings, on their children, on their future generation. So what is going to be the evidence that they went to the altar, even though we didn't see them at the altar? Now you're going to see the murders in the family, all of the young men getting cut down. Now you're going to see the proliferation of all of the women having children for different men. Wherever you see a consistency of negativity, an altar is speaking.
Just take your time.
I'm so cold. I don't know what to do anymore.
Let's get you some help.
I'm trying to help you. Kevin, please bring this home for us. Listen, all I'm trying to tell you, what the Lord said to me. Pray for your family. Don't just pray. Don't say, oh Lord, cover them. No. That ain't gonna help you. That ain't gonna stop the pending atrocity that is assigned to them. What is going to stop it? You got to start breaking covenants. See, the altar have no power. The altar represent the power behind it. The spirits that your mommy, daddy, your uncle, aunt, your ancestors, or whoever, or even your current living family members, listen, whatever covenants they made, it's now going to speak to the destiny of the future generation or the current generation. When that person, when that person on the job went and seek evil powers and was told to bring certain items on that job. Let me be clear. If you are a person who is I wouldn't even say covered by the blood of Jesus. Let me move that all the way altogether, because you could be covered all you want. Because wherever there is a legal right for the enemy to infiltrate, ain't no God, no Jesus, no angel can stop it. Because there's a legal right for it to affect you.